Hi everyone, this is Brad. Today we're going to take a look at how to create an account in Book Creator if you haven't already done so. So typically Book Creator, you will get one library and 40 free books for your students to create. For the rest of this school year, you can create multiple libraries and have, I believe it's upwards of 1,000 books that your students could create. That's a lot of books. So in order to do it, go ahead, create a free account. Make sure you put all your information in there, and just so you know, it's going to look a little different than mine. Yours will actually, you would have named your class already. So you'll see that just in a second. But what I'd recommend doing is take this URL, this link, place that in Google Classroom, because what your students will do is just sign in with Google, and then they'll use a specific code that you're going to share with them. I'll show you that in just a little bit. But again, mine looks a little bit different because I have already gone in and created an account. All right, so we're going to sign in. You'll see that I don't have any books in the library. I don't even have a library. So what I would do is create a new library. So you can do this in the future. You would have done this already when you signed in, but you can see these options, especially about the publishing their books online. You can always go back in and edit this, but I would leave this one off. And again, if you don't want students reading each other's books or read the other's books, then by all means, just toggle that off. But I am going to allow an image search and create a library. So here we go. We're going to go ahead in, and you can see the invite code is right here. So if you want to share this, I'm just going to blur this out. It's right in here. You would share this. They would put it in one time, and that's all they would need to do. So for your students to start creating new books, it's right up in here. Create a new book. You can see all these options. And then there's also templates to check out as well, which is really neat for students to go in and see just the templates that are there. But for the first time, I'd recommend going into landscape. Of course, you can go into landscape comic. You can see there are lots of options to check out. But let's go into landscape. I'll just do a real quick one for you here. Let's do one on baseball. So we're going to add an item. You can see your options here. We're going to go in and just put a text in here first. And I'm just going to call it baseball. You can see your other options up here as well, where you can put in a link, italicize, underline, bold. I'm not going to do all that for right now. Now, something that happens a lot is if you select out of the text box and someone wants to go into what's called the inspector, you can see that just changes the color of the page. So if we did that, a lot of times students are like, but I can't change this. Why can't I change what's in here? The reason is because you need to just select the text box. And then, of course, you can stretch out the text box. You can then go back to the inspector, and you can see how it's different. So, of course, you can drag. And then when you get it close to the size you want, you can go up or down. And then you can see all your options in here. You can go in and change what you would like to. Of course, you have comms. You have the ability to shadow. Move back to front. That's important, especially when you put an image in there. I'll do that in a little bit. Something else to point out is sometimes it is nice when you pin this. It's nice because it makes it really easy to go back and forth to go and change something. So if I now want to add something, if I want to add, let's import a picture. And again, all these are safe for using. So let's go ahead and let's put in this picture. I have to select it and then add. Now you can see that right over here that the text actually went behind. So again, you can now move to the front. And of course, then maybe you want to change the color of it. So you say, I want it to be red. Okay, so pretty nice to be able to have that. Also notice you can't distort these pictures, meaning you can't drag it this way like you can in a Google Doc or a slide. All right, so of course you put some more information on there as well. One other thing to point out for the pages and things like that, there are some cool ones down here, like with comics and things like that, if you want the background to be a little bit different. So it's something just for your students to, and you, to definitely go in and check out whatever it is you would, what you'd like. Okay, so we want to go on to the next page. Let's just, let's leave this as that. All right, so if we go on to the next page, what you can do is just select right in here. So we want to add some things, some items. So if we go in, again, you can add a text box. I'm not going to keep doing that for you, but we could do a pen. So if you do a pen, you could go ahead, change the colors right up in here, and then, you could draw baseball. Now, I'm showing you this because, sometimes it's hard to draw. with these. So that's kind of difficult. And I'll show you this just in a second. So here I've closed in my circle. If I want to go in and fill this, what I can do is, you can see how it's red. If I want to fill it in with, let's say, blue, I can just do that. If I don't close it all the way, it won't fill it. There's also emojis, which of course you can check out there as well. But the one that I wanted to show you in dealing with the pen, of course there are other cool, I want to show you this too, there are cool colors down in here with the magic ink. But my point is, what I wanted to show you was the ability to go ahead in, and with the pen, you can see there are these other markers and things like that. But there's an auto draw icon. So if you start drawing, so here it is, you can see it thinks I'm drawing a clock. Oh, there's a baseball, and now I can change it to red. And then, of course, you can drag it wherever it is you'd like and close out and hit done. And, of course, if you want to remove something, you can just click on it. Notice how I had these two together, so they're kind of linked together. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to backspace that out. Okay. Now, if I want to add some more items, of course, you can go in, you can select the camera, and if you select the camera, just to remind your students to allow the camera to be used. You can also record your voice. The camera and the recording may be really helpful, especially for all about the author or things like that. If we want to go into another page, and I want to go ahead in and I want to add some different shapes. So let's just say I wanted to, actually let's do a quick drawing. And let's just draw a person. And then, okay, yeah, that's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead in. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if you want to go ahead in and add a shape, you could add a speech bubble. And you could shrink it. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. I'm going to also undo, because if you make a mistake, you can undo things, which is nice. But let's go ahead into shapes again, and let's just do this. There we go. And what I can do is drag this up. And if I want, I can really shrink it. I can move it around. But you can see, maybe you want to move your person. So you move your person down. And you put it here. And then you can go ahead in and add your text and just say whatever it may be. It is awesome. And then, of course, you could go in and they could change whatever it is they'd like. Now, again, if you have questions, feel free to let me know. But what I want to do is I want to show you this. When the students write, if they select their books, you're going to notice it says a new book. So they would need to come down in here and just change it to baseball. Over in here are some options where they can go ahead. Now, with the updated and the free version, you can combine books, you can move to library, you can import other books, so on and so forth. You can also delete the book. Now, you as a teacher would be able to go in and you're going to be able to see everyone's books, and you can delete them yourself. Also know that if you go in, you can always go over here and restore them, and they're back. There's also these options here. There's some sharing options. So you can print them out. You can download them as an ebook. In this option, because I'm the teacher, I can publish it online. Again, that's up to you. If you want to collaborate, students can collaborate and work together with the free version. With this version. The free version, you cannot collaborate. So I want to point that out. You can also go ahead in as a teacher and you can help the students and edit if you'd like to. Last little bit. If you select play, you can go ahead through and you can read the book. You can also have it read to you. So if you go ahead back, you can have it read aloud.
Baseball. Baseball is awesome.
Okay. All right, so we reached the end, and if you want to go back in, of course, you can edit the book and go in and work on what you need to. So those are the quick ins and outs for Google for placing this in Google Classroom. I was just thinking, don't forget to place the link in Google Classroom with the code the one time. That's what they will need to go in. And of course, feel free to reach out to either one of us. Be more than happy to help you. Thanks for watching. Take care.